evening, ladies and gentlemen, my planes, my trains, my automobiles, my freaks and geeks, my dweebs and weebs. Welcome to the first recording of the X-Cast. Gonna be doing a little chit-chatting with my buddy Brad. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I haven't talked to him in a minute, so it'll be nice to catch up and whatnot. Let me get him in here. Invite him to the party. Should be good. Shush. Shush music. Living in an old Monte Carlo. Ugh. There we go. He's in a little bit of Apex right now. We're just chilling on him. Hold on, let me get the Twitch playlist up. Get it going in a little bit in the background. Just a little bit. Should be right. Cut it out. Bradley, where are you, good sir? It's all good. He's probably in a game right now. Oh, hang on, he's messaging me. All good, dude. We're just chilling, chat. He's just finishing up some business. Sitting in a old Monte Carlo. Brad, my boy. Hello, check 1 2. Oh, hold up.
Big Rich.
Gotta adjust my settings. Voice. Check.
Hello.
Check. Ah. Default. Yeah, hang on. Check. 1 2. Check 1 2.
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. We're heard. We're here.
Word, we're here.
Fantastic. What's up, Brad? How you been, man?
I've been great, dude. How have you been?
Can't complain, just working away, getting kind of into the rhythm of the new job. And
I was just about to ask, how's everything going with that? I saw your story looking for new hires, correct?
Correct. We are looking for customer service people.
Cool. No, that's awesome. Well, it's great that you're getting involved and, that you have that sense of pride and you're recruiting other people. It's great.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just actually did a photo shoot with one of our new products. This kid was doing stunts on a stunt scooter we're starting to sell.
Well,
so it's exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're blending a little bit of your personal into the business. So
exactly.
Dude, that's great.
Yo, Benny, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, dude.
Scooter Cop, baby.
Hell yeah.
When's that are you still doing those anymore?
I haven't made one in so long, dude. I need to, though. I need to get back on that.
God, making me feel old. Like we're talking about some of your OG skits over here.
Not that old just yet. What you eating?
I'm cleaning up a little bit, so I'm trying to be proactive.
Oh, for sure.
I know that we're having a discussion, and I'm very invested in said discussion.
No,
but
no, I get it.
I figured it's Sunday night, clean up the place a little bit.
Yeah, I did a little
Hasn't
vacuuming
exactly been
earlier.
well kept through the weekend.
Yeah.
I will not be doing any vacuuming, but I might transfer over some laundry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm doing laundry right now too. It's totally fun.
I love it. I love it.
I called this the X cast with BradKeith.
Oof.
I'm trying to think of a new name though. I want to combo it somehow.
Oh no! There's no combo. No, everybody's here for you, man. I'm just the color commentary.
Fair enough. If my voice sounds a little raspy, it's because I was at a Rockies game with my older brother.
I was just about to ask, how was the game? Because I saw your story.
It was really good. The Cincinnati Reds came back at the top of the ninth, and won it by 1.
Okay.
It was a really fun game though. My brother got really good seats.
But it's still really cool.
Yeah, he got us like 10 or 15 rows behind home plate. So it was really good.
It looked sick. I mean, as you know, as a baseball player myself, I love going to games and being part of events like that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was heckling the umpire and the pit. I was just heckling a whole bunch, just screaming.
That's great.
I was like, umpire, go to LensCrafters and get your contacts. Some shit.
Dude, they've been brutal this year.
Right? Dude, I feel like
so bad.
Rockies got cheated out of an easy dub.
You guys have the All-Star game this year, correct?
Yeah, it's being hosted in Colorado.
Love that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it.
Are you gonna go? Have you started to look at ticket prices? Because I know that they can get super fucking expensive.
No.
Ooh, are we cursing?
Yeah, no, we're cursing. It's all good. I'm not.
Okay.
The shit ain't
All
for
right.
kids. I am making a podcast for children.
So, but yeah, that's awesome that they're doing it there. Did you answer my question about getting tickets or anything? Have you taken a look at prices?
No, I haven't even looked at prices because I'm trying to save money. Felix, hey, no, stop clawing at the banisters. Roommate's cat was clawing at. I'm just like, no, don't claw that shit, dude. That ain't right. But no, I'm trying to get it sorted so that that I can save money for a trip to either Ireland or France later.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you all vaccinated and everything?
Yeah, Yeah, we can talk about that. I don't know if YouTube still has a rule about it, but no,
yeah,
Felix.
well, that's the question is like, I don't know what's violating terms of service or not.
Yeah, I mean, I am fully vaccinated. I got the Pfizer vaccine. I've heard other YouTubers talk about the vaccination, maybe not the disease itself, but I think talking about vaccination, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I went to get mine on Saturday. So yesterday, I guess. Jeez, it's been a long weekend.
Yeah.
I went and waited in line and waited for an hour. Got to the front of the line, and since I was a walk-in, I didn't have an appointment. They were like, "Yeah, we ran out." So I actually ended up missing my first round. So I'm gonna book an appointment for Tuesday and try to get one then. But I should be able to get one soon, hopefully.
It's funny you say that because I booked my appointment, and when I got through there, like when it was my turn to get my first shot, they ran out, and I was just sitting there waiting until they brought more in.
Dude, it's so brutal.
Right?
So I definitely feel for that. Well, I learned my lesson. I figured, I wasn't doing anything. I was just hanging out, rocking out to the new Big Booty mix, just chilling in the car. It was a great time.
Jet, I will be playing video games later. Right now, I'm just doing a little, basically a discussion with my buddy Brad, aka podcast.
By the way, let me know whenever we're starting, and like if you want to do an intro or anything, and then.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I got you.
Welcome to the X-Cast.
Pretty much. I sort of did a little intro before I invited you. Anyways, nothing too extreme or like official, but I was just like, yeah, we're doing doing a podcast today, and I even titled it XCast, and the stream notification was starting a podcast, better late than never, and then it's in the just chatting section. So
Oh, nice.
it should be good. And then
Good thing,
eventually,
we'll probably get buried underneath all the hot tub streamers, so
pretty
it'll
much.
be great.
Yeah, that's what actually I was going to talk about first. Is like, what was your opinion? What was your take on it? On some of these female streamers taking advantage of the algorithm, and I would say younger men in the Twitchospheres.
It just feels like a slippery slope, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Even talking about it, I feel uncomfortable. It's like, oh, am I somehow being sexist because they're utilizing their platform to their extent? And it's just like, I see it as a little, it's a little cheap in my opinion. I'm like, is this really that entertaining?
I don't think you're wrong in that regard, and I think a lot of other content creators share the same opinion.
Yeah.
It's one of those tough things where, what is Twitch really? Is it a just general streaming of your life platform, which is what it originally was, right? I believe the first stream was like IRL.
Yeah.
And then,
It
or
branched
is
off
Twitch
into gaming.
truly going to be a gaming platform, right? Because there's so many other different avenues for like girls to produce that type of content that it gets muddy when Twitch is allowing it on their platform too. Right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I don't know. It's tough because I mean you're seeing, oftentimes a lot of them. Look at all the top like hot tub ones. They all have OnlyFans and other things that they're plugging at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's almost like a gateway drug to like all the other stuff that they're doing and just trying to maximize their source of revenue, which like respect.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like
they're hustling.
it's
the
your
system,
income.
but it does feel a little cheap.
Yeah.
Especially for a lot of the other hardworking streamers, for sure.
Yeah, it's a difficult subject to talk about, especially for myself as a heterosexual white dude in America. I don't really deal with any prejudices or strifes or struggles at all. There's nothing that I deal with that literally change any one of those three things about myself: being straight, being white, and being a dude. Like, you're already having an upward climb to try and be successful. So, I say it's to whoever tunes into those streams, it's on them, not on the streamer. It's like the streamer can do whatever they want as long as they're not breaking TOS. So, really, at the end of the day, it's the viewer.
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent, but it's also tough when, I mean, look at Twitch Prime subs and everything else, right? Like, it's tied to a lot of people's Amazon accounts.
Yeah.
Parents' credit cards are on there. Little kids are just subscribing to things, and if the parents give them, an allowance of $50 a month, they're gonna run with that, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Speaking of Twitch Prime, I just got a tier 1 from my boy Senju for 6 months.
Let's go.
So Senju, thank you for the tier 1, buddy. Yes, sir. But sorry, continue your point.
No, that's really the only point is it's a slippery slope when you allow young people with access to parents' credit cards and access to that content, right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
instead of another site like OnlyFans that might raise their parents' eyebrows, they're able to get it right there on Twitch, which is why it seems a little murky.
Yeah, but like that's where it gets. Yeah, I understand what you mean, because like when Ninja moved to
Because
Mixer,
a lot of those kids are underage too.
Yeah, 100%. Like
that's the thing.
The rule Twitch has is you have to be 13 or older to stream and to have a Twitch account as like a minimum. But they obviously can't control that to a certain extent. And even
do you know the terms for OnlyFans and some of those other sites?
It's like 18 plus. It's like you have to have a credit card to purchase.
I mean,
shit.
from what I've heard, not from my personal experience,
Yeah.
from what I've heard, it's 18 plus. So
Yeah.
even to like get an account, I believe you like have to verify, or maybe
There's
to
some
create
sort
one,
of-
you have to verify a driver's license or something.
Something
So
crazy.
it's just more strict, and it limits like 13, 14 young people getting access to that type of content.
Even still, like when Ninja moved over to Mixer, Twitch used his channel to promote other streams. And they had a legit porn channel on Ninja stream, and Ninja is obviously promoting to to those young kids, and you see like graphic shit like that on, you know, a Twitch channel, it's kind of messed up that like the Twitch moderators or whoever controls what's being shown on other people's channels, because it is controlled to some extent. They were obviously doing something, that they would put a porn channel on there and expose, you know, children to that. Granted, the internet isn't really moderated all that much, but Twitch is supposed to be a platform that has age appropriate content. And the fact
I was
that
so surprised that he came back to Twitch after that.
oh, I wasn't shocked at all.
Why?
Because there's YouTube is nice and all, but it doesn't get as much viewership. Facebook, I don't know many except Z-Laner, because he streams with Dr. Disrespect and he started on Twitch. The money was too good to not stream on Twitch, because
you don't think that YouTube will eventually catch up to Twitch if they, you know, had some of the top creators? Like, I mean, you hear rumors all the time about Dr. like back when, before Shroud came back, right?
Yeah.
There was the rumor of Dr. Disrespect, Ninja, and Shroud making their own streaming platform and, you know, giving a giant middle finger to Twitch.
Yeah.
So I don't know, is it what brings in the viewers? Is it the platform, or is it the entertainers and the content creators on said platform? And will the viewers follow?
I think,
because so far with Mixer, it didn't exactly pan out that way. But I'm not sure if that maintains true for something like YouTube that has Facebook and Google and, or I guess it's Facebook, right? That it's affiliated with. But it's got a lot more money behind it to make it not fail.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of potential. I mean, I think Mixer could have gone a little longer if it had been given more support, but Microsoft just pulled the plug. It wasn't worth their time, and I think
you know what Mixer had that I wish Twitch had?
What?
I wish they had, what is it? The hot zone or whatever. The hot zone where it showed you, so on Mixer, if you tuned into that channel, whether it was Warzone or Apex, it would randomly bounce you to a streamer, big or small, and they would always be in like the final 2 rings or be on like a high kill game.
Interesting.
So you'd always be seeing like really cool content, and that's what I loved, is like you'd hop into a game where 2 teams are fighting at the end circle, and you know, a guy who has 50 viewers, there's like 2,000 people watching the hot zone, which I don't even know if that's the correct name, but they would see all these people coming in and watching them at that time. So then they get all nervous and, you know, they get all super sweaty about it. Like it was a really cool concept that I wish that, you know, Twitch would kind of poach and have something like that available, because that would be super cool to watch in something like Warzone or Apex.
I think it would definitely have a lot of potential, just because Battle Royales are is essentially the standard for gaming now. Like any FPS or honestly TPS, third person shooter, any shooter game nowadays is going to have a Battle Royale of some kind, it feels like.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Just,
you look at the top producers, you know, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman.
Yeah. 50K
their
viewers.
gang is,
yeah.
They're grinding Warzone and people are tuning in.
100%.
Now, I would argue that they've built up communities, and no matter what game they play, they're going to get a
bunch of views.
But they're just playing the most popular thing now because they have such a strong and healthy community. It's pretty impressive.
That's how you essentially grow. And quick sidetrack, someone in my chat asked me how my day was. My day was fantastic, Jet. Thank you. I went to see a Rockies game with my brother, and my dad is fully recovered from his surgery. Thank you. And but yeah, the huge followers and the huge amount of like content creators essentially is because they follow the trends and they know what's gonna get. I mean, like Tim the Tatman, he's played Fortnite and just shooter games basically his entire streaming career. Fall Guys for like its 2 or so months in the sun on Twitch. He got over 300,000 views.
He got an ESPN 30 for 30 made of him.
Exactly, for just Fall Guys.
He had what was it, like 300,000 concurrent viewers watching him?
Yeah, it was 300,000. And when he won, it was probably one of the most viewed moments on Twitch for that quarter or that period, which is insane to think about. Think about 300,000 people watching you do anything.
It's legitimately like a major sporting event. Like
I mean,
they're
it's bigger than
performing-
any stadium. Name a stadium
Yeah.
that can hold 300,000 people. There's
Fucking
none.
nuts, dude.
It's
Crazy
insane.
to think about.
Like
I remember when it happened. Did you watch it live?
I didn't watch it live. I watched the YouTube video and read the article afterwards. I was
Okay.
at work, I believe.
I was driving, so I was on the road. I visited some accounts that day, and I was driving back to Charlotte. So I was up in like the Raleigh Durham area, and I was driving back, and I remember it was such a big deal. Me and all my buddies were like texting about it in a group chat, and then I threw it on Twitch on my phone while I had the GPS up, driving safely, not really like intently focusing on it. I wanted to hear it in the background. I wanted to hear the banter.
100%.
And just hearing him, like his joy when he won, I remember it. I remember the drive. I remember it all. It's so funny.
I mean, that even reminds me of when Doc returned to YouTube. I mean, on just like a JPEG image of a gas station, he had like 500K
we were
people.
Texting
Yeah, exactly. We were messaging. I was like,
Yeah.
Doc's back. He's here. And then
you and I, we waited with like, what was it? It
was solid 500,000 people.
Yeah,
just
and we
sitting,
were sitting and we listened
waiting.
to the song when the song came out.
The songs,
It's out of my
hand. Yeah, exactly. But I'm still in control. And then Johnny Bandini on the VSM radio. He was just
That's
giving
right. That's right.
jokes and shit. And that went on. It was just a test stream. He was just testing it, and he got however much money from donos and members on YouTube of 500,000 people. He's been doing good.
Know?
As far as I can tell, like when he's streaming, he's still pulling 20K plus views, if not more, especially when there's Warzone tournaments. He does huge. Good. And Z-Laner is getting growth too because that's his like main partner now since he's on YouTube. Him and Courage JD also do a lot of stuff. But
Yep. Well, the thing that sucks is that he can't play with
Tim or Nick anymore.
or Clokey
or any of them, anyone on Twitch because
Tim,
nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But did you
still.
see? I've seen some articles that have said that he can't even play with them off stream.
Yeah,
like casually.
That's pathetic on Twitch's part, I think.
That type of oversight is kind of scary.
Yeah, that's the scary part of streaming on Twitch. Or anything really.
Isn't that considered your personal life? How do you for you? How does that make you feel? I mean, obviously that wouldn't impact you in any degree right now.
No,
but it's still kind of troublesome to think about.
What it makes me like crazy to think about is like, what did Doc do? What happened to warrant such a harsh punishment that he can't even play?
How are we over a year removed and we still don't know?
Yeah,
nobody said anything.
Yeah, no, that's the fact that it's been so like the fact that Twitch has had this locked down for so long makes me think that this is like top head of the table. Like they only they know, because if all the lower employees knew, someone would have said something to an article.
For sure.
For some amount of money.
Sure.
I mean, 10K to know what the Doc did.
All we've known, of course I've heard rumors and stuff, but nothing that's actually warranted. The only thing that could kind of make sense to me from what I've read is that Doc was using some other contract, whether it was Mixer before it shut down or maybe YouTube itself. He was holding some sort of contract over Twitch, because I know that he signed like the $50 million deal, right?
Yeah, something crazy.
Well, maybe he got offered more, and he came back to Twitch and was like, "Hey, I want to stay, but you need to pay me more money because I'm getting this offered from somebody else." And then Twitch, I think, whoever the executives at Twitch didn't like that he was kind of trying to manipulate the system and pull a fast one on him, and they basically banned him and haven't given a reason.
No,
that's what I heard. There's, like I said, complete rumor. Don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
this is all speculation, ladies and gentlemen. But
it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, what confuses me though is he's such a big draw for Twitch. Like, just in terms of branding at events, and his streams was bringing in so much money for Twitch. I imagine, because Twitch takes a cut of tier 1 through tier 3 subs and bits, so all of that Twitch gets a cut.
Right.
And what confuses me is like other streamers have done worse things, or at least that we know of, like Tfue. on stream, like clear as day, has said the N-word I don't know how many times, and he's still streaming on Twitch. And, like when it brings in like, you know, slurs and like hate speech on stream several times, it seems a little sus that, you know, they get to still come back.
That's a good point. The only other thing I was going to bring up in that regard is, hey, is it maybe that Doc's too big of a personality and they don't want to deal with the headache of the repercussions of any of his actions? Because they really, it seems like Twitch values control.
Yeah.
And where they're trying to, you know,
control
tell people like
influence.
Tim and Nick, like, hey, you can't even play with him off stream. For somebody like Doc, he doesn't really play by those types of rules. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, look at he did the bathroom stream, right, when he was at TwitchCon and everything.
Yeah, that was a big fuck up.
So, I guess my point is maybe Twitch was like, hey, there's something else going on that kind of spurred this, but we don't want to deal with the headache anymore. We're just going to ban him. Yeah. And he wasn't worth whatever money he was bringing into them. Or maybe avoiding a future, you know, issue.
Yeah,
it's all a possibility.
I could see that.
Because I mean, he's one of the biggest ones. Yes, it's awful what Tfu's been doing, but
Tfu isn't the only example, though. It's like there's
agreed, but I wouldn't I would argue that nobody's really on the type of scale that Doc is.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh
wow! How did we get through all that?
No, that's the joy. That's the joy of it. That's why I feel like it would be good to do the podcast with you, or at least start it up, because we can always have solid conversation and discussion.
Do you have an agenda? Like, good.
I mean, I didn't start one off just because I figured let's just roll with the punches on the first one. But the next thing I wanted to talk about was the freaking Star Wars with Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so excited. That's coming out soon.
Yeah, it should be coming out. They're in production right now and filming.
If you want to have me on to talk about like any kind of current event like media stuff, like we could talk about WandaVision, we could talk about, you know, talking to Winter Soldier, we could talk about whatever.
For next week, I'll get like a list of stuff we can go through and like break down.
That'd be awesome.
I just wanted to, you know, go with the punches, as I said before, just to see how it went. And so far,
that'd be cool. I'd be super into that, and maybe that'll be relevant to like have a conversation with your viewers too. Because I mean,
no, exactly. I would
venture to assume that all of us like kind of like somewhat of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And are tuned into a lot of this, so maybe it'll be something that we can make interactive, have some polls and have some people contributing in chat.
No, absolutely. Like we'll start running questions and everything, and if anybody has a question about what we are talking about or have talked about, please don't hesitate to ask. But no, I'm super excited to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, for that matter, get a second shot at their characters, because I feel like they weren't given their rightful due in the prequel trilogy.
Well, wouldn't you argue that certain pieces of media, such as Mandalorian, such as Clone Wars, such as all of this other stuff that they've been coming out with, doesn't it also strengthen the prequels a little bit?
Oh, no, absolutely.
A lot of homages and I'd say honoring the prequels and even in the sequel trilogy, talking about, you know, clone armies and stuff like that.
I would argue that's what helped get this show approved or even made, was the huge hype and just the sheer fandom around Clone Wars and Mandalorian. It's like, oh wow, people are actually interested in character-driven stories and plot, like the animated show Clone Wars. Like season 7 of Clone Wars, I don't know if you watched it or not, but
I haven't caught up. So
okay, I won't say anything.
I'm currently I know that it ties into episode 3, so I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
But I am like halfway through because I've been doing the chronological order thing, which makes it I can't just flip it on and, you know, just binge it. Yeah. Like I have to bounce around with the story, and it's been a little bit more logistically hard.
I get you.
Especially when there's been, at least for me, I've been keeping up with a lot of the weekly content that's been coming out. Like I said, I've watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier pretty much every time that it came out the day of.
Such a good show, right?
WandaVision, and I also watched Invincible.
Oh, I was
which
gonna. That was
is
what I wanted to talk about
amazing.
next. Oh my god, dude.
Oh my
Spoiler
God,
alert,
dude,
by the way,
what
because
a
we both have
great
seen the season
show.
1. But spoiler alert ahead. If y'all haven't seen season 1 of Invincible, go watch it right now.
Well,
it's incredible.
Mute if you don't want to hear any spoilers. But if before we even get to that, you have to watch it.
Pretty much.
It's a badass.
It is
show.
a banger of an animated show. But anyways, but having Ewan McGregor and the fact that Hayden Christensen was willing to sign on to return as Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker, but at this point it's 10 years after Episode 3, so it's Darth Vader in his in his essence. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully like the episodes are rated like TVM or just rated mature, because I want to see Darth Vader like just totally wreck some shit.
But it's an Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, no, it's an Obi-Wan show. But my feeling, the fact that they're bringing back Hayden, is they're gonna give him at least a solid segment. Like,
do you think it's gonna be a lot of Hayden in Darth Vader's suit, like in that current time, or do you think it's gonna be maybe some flashbacks of him and Obi-Wan from like their time during the Clone Wars, flesh out their friendship, maybe like de-age them a little bit to kind of maybe add some color to how their falling out happened. I don't know. I mean, yes, we had all of those movies, but I'm assuming that they're bringing him back for more than just him being in the suit. They want his face in the show. Just personally, that's what I think.
What I think they're gonna do is they'll have a couple of flashback scenes. Like, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi he's gonna be essentially tortured by these moments and thoughts that he failed, because essentially he did. I mean, his trusted at that point brother and friend betrayed him and his entire essential family at this point, and was responsible for the death of his comrades. And I think Obi-Wan Kenobi, we're gonna see him feel this tremendous pain, but through that pain he will go through and realize what he must do and where his path will lead. Like, we'll flip from the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan Kenobi to the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi, sort of this old sage who is willing to sacrifice himself. Because I feel
question.
Go for it.
Why is Liam Neeson not cast, or is he being hidden? What's going on? Why aren't we learning about how Obi-Wan learns how to be a Force ghost from Qui-Gon? Why is that not announced yet?
I think it's going to be a secret.
Huge missed opportunity.
No, if they don't do it, obviously. I mean,
they better do it.
Yeah, because Qui-Gon Jinn was through legends, or through the stories, and I would say comic books and everything else. Expanded universe. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. He is seen as this super powerful Force user, because he wasn't on the council, because he knew that he can dabble, that the dark side had its benefits. That's why he was sort of a gray Jedi, if I'm not mistaken. And
that's why he would have been the perfect teacher for Anakin.
Exactly, because
there's a lot of really cool alternate universe stories, or at least theories about if Anakin was trained by Qui-Gon versus Obi-Wan and the failed teacher sort of story. It's really interesting.
One of my viewers redeemed a random fact for 500 channel points. Random fact: the man, or rather the creature that killed Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, hails from a planet called Dathomir.
Dathomir.
Yeah, Dathomir.
Yep.
And I could go into Darth Maul and then later Maul a whole bunch, but I want to talk a little bit about Invincible, because what a show, what a cast, what voice acting, and just what incredible power in the characters. Because we've seen Superman dozens and dozens of times, and we got Homelander in The Boys, but Omni-Man is different. This
is so different.
Oh, 100%. Omni-Man is just, he different, chat. He built different. And it's hard to get too excited to talk about all of this without really knowing the full context of the show too. You have to see the final episode to really understand how his viewpoint tailors into the whole season and how it's all interconnected. Because as much as I hate to say it, Omni-Man was
kind of making a lot of sense from his perspective. Like,
Yeah.
as far as time and the construct that it is and how long they live, it's really interesting.
No, it definitely makes you think
about
life and your own mortality. But that's why I think Mark is such a good protagonist, because then he hits you with probably the biggest gut punch you'll ever feel from an animated show, at least in recent memory.
Oh man,
He'd still have you, his father. That fatherly son bond as a son can strongly relate to that. Is like, I would lay down my life for my dad in a heartbeat. And like
so
that.
How do you make those superhero, like superpowered characters that we will never understand? How do you make them relatable?
Family.
A story about a guy and his dad.
Yeah, exactly. A father and son.
Star Wars-esque, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And when you see this character, this Omni-Man, just literally beating his son to death, and then realizing what he's done, like he looks at his son's blood on his hands and sees his basically just crushed face, and then while even being beaten down and on the brink of death, Mark, invincible,
still loves him.
Still trying to get his dad on the right side, on side of humanity, and Omni-Man can't deal with it, and it just it's such a gut punch. But
Omni-Man's crying when he's flying through
the
atmosphere.
Yeah, you see those tears. It's a fucking.
He's the first Viltrumite to leave his post.
Yeah,
You wonder. It's already renewed for seasons 2 and 3.
I'm the comic books are incredible, by the way. Really great. It's
so far away from it.
It's the same guy.
I don't want anything spoiled. Yeah, Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, same guy who did The
Right?
Walking Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just a phenomenal voice cast. But
well, the nice part about it is I read an interview, or maybe watched. I consumed an interview that he did. And he said, Robert Kirkman, from him, he's a producer on the show, and he basically said, yo, I made this when I was in my mid-20s, and there are some things that aren't really that great, and I have some ideas on how I'm going to make it better, and I'm going to make it better for the TV show.
Absolutely.
And I don't necessarily have to follow everything that I did in the comics, because this is me. I was the only one who wrote the comics, and I'm going to be the producer of the show.
Creative control, people.
I still don't want to have that muddy my view of the show, so I'm still going to stay away from the comics. Fair. However, that's super encouraging that he cares about the source material. So much of that matters when you get into these big franchises and you're adapting source material. You need somebody who truly cares about it. And you can see that love in series like Harry Potter. You can see where it's lacking in some of the Star Wars stuff. You can see it all throughout. So it's pretty cool.
Anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Star Wars before, because I want to try and keep, most podcasts are about an hour, and I want to try to stick with that sort of.
Yeah, how long have we been talking?
About 45 minutes.
It feels like we just started.
15. Honestly, feels like 15. But The Bad Batch just came out on Disney Plus as well.
Can I watch that without viewing or have completed the Clone Wars? Or should
I would
catch up
finish Clone Wars first, then watch Bad Batch.
But
Got it. What's awesome is that all those dudes are voiced by the same guy. Like, even in the Bad Batch.
I did see that.
Like, I don't know his name, but they're all voiced by the same dude, which is insane to think about. But we have the handy dandy Google machine, clone trooper voice actor. D. Bradley Baker. I wanted to say that, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, D. Bradley Baker. He does the voice for all the clone troopers.
Question for you.
Go for it.
Did you ever play the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign from the original Xbox or PlayStation 2?
Yes, I did.
Is the Bad Batch similar to that campaign where you follow the 501st Division in any regard? Is it kind of where it's like that transition period between Episode 3 and 4?
Yes.
And the Empire rising to power?
It's between Episode 3 and 4, and you follow the Bad Batch. Just that. This is not an entire Legion.
Getting me excited.
An exact unit. One moment.
Okay, interesting. I'm in. I love it.
My roommate's cat is being real attention whore tonight. That's how they be most of the time, cats in general. But yeah, I'm excited for what Star Wars has, or just Disney Plus in general, with all the Star Wars shows coming out. Like, I know they're doing Squadrons. They're doing a specific story on Daniel. What's his name? Freaking Rogue One.
Oh, Cassian Andor.
Yes, thank you, Cassian.
Yep.
Diego Luna. Cassian.
Yep.
Yeah, he's getting his own show, which I'm super excited about. Hopefully.
He was a very interesting character in that movie. I'm not sure. I wasn't exactly thrilled to see that they were making a show about him. I would have loved to have seen them branch out and do something maybe like, and I know you'll be behind this, maybe something like a Revan show. I would have really liked to see something of that regard.
Just
and
go to the Old Republic, please, because I want to see more than 2 Sith. My background on my computer is literally Darth Revan.
I love that. All I want is just 30 Sith running at 30 Jedi. Why can't we get that?
Right,
what
like
are we doing
the
here?
cinematics,
What are we
bro.
doing here?
The hang on.
Like,
hold up. I'm gonna, because I'm pretty sure we can react to this. It's fair media and whatnot, but just pull up freaking the old.
Is it the Coder trailer?
Yeah,
right,
the Old Republic cinematic. Hang on, I'm typing
dude,
it up.
So good.
Yeah, the Star Wars: The Old Republic, all cinematics, 1080p HD, the one with 22 million views from 5 years ago. I want that. Give me a full hour and a half to 2 hour full film of this animation style, because this shit came out how many years ago and looks fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's animated to kind of dip their toe in the water and get it going, but man, live action, that's all I've wanted.
For real.
Me and all my buddies back home, whenever we're watching, like, whether we're out and about, having a couple beers, whatever, and we're winding down at the end of the night, always the thing we go to is lightsaber ratio. Whatever we're watching of Star Wars, there's got to be a high lightsaber ratio.
Yeah.
Always got to have lightsabers in it. The more lightsabers, the better, baby.
Because the thing that upset me most about the most recent trilogy is there wasn't enough lightsaber action. Granted, I know they wanted to tone it down, but like, you are Jedi and Sith. The lightsaber is your like go-to weapon. Like, you want to use it before the Force so you don't drain yourself of energy.
The Sith were eradicated. Why couldn't we do something new and have 30, dark side worshippers, maybe not necessarily Sith, and have like a bunch of them?
Yeah.
And Kylo Ren, Master of the Knights of Ren. Why didn't all of them have lightsabers? Like, why couldn't we have an all-out battle between? And they obviously hinted at Finn being Jedi sensitive. Like, they could have done a lot.
They could have
more
done
with
a
it.
lot, but I released a YouTube video like 2 or 3 years ago about how I think the trilogy should end. Mm-hmm. And I've tweaked it a bit, but I think I've run it over with you, but I want to make sure it's recorded again here for the very first episode of the X-Cast.
Throw it up, X-Cast, baby.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like we've discussed this before.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't on a stream, but
we've definitely discussed it before. But Kitty, your first YouTube video was great, by the way. Don't count yourself out. But go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
No. It was just more of like this conversation seems a little familiar as far as us talking about this, because we're definitely on the same sort of wavelength there.
Because what I wanted, and I want to let my viewers know, what I wanted to see Rey with all her rage and just pain and anger from her parents being murdered, or ordered to be murdered by Darth Sidious. I wanted to see her eyes slowly sink to that dark Sith yellow, like super angry Sith yellow, and then stab Sidious, or like just chop him up and just screw his ass up. And then through her anger and rage, she corrupts her kyber crystal in her lightsaber to red, and then she takes Darth Sidious' lightsabers and combines them so she gets her Darth Maul one, because we've seen her use a staff. It was so teased hard that she would get a dual lightsaber, and for 2 seconds we got to see it, but she didn't get it as a light side user, which pisses me off so much.
But even as a light side user, it wasn't a dual wield.
Used it. She could have used Luke and Leia's lightsabers to combine it, and it would have worked.
Oh, for
fine.
sure.
And
but she didn't. But she didn't do that. It's only a
didn't.
single blade. Look at the real like Battlefront 2 that's out right now. It's only a single blade, and you can change your color to yellow. Like why?
But
they built it up so much.
But what would have happened? So she assumes her place on the throne, like on the Sith throne, and she's just like, she's a Sith badass. I wanted to see my goth girl on the throne, and I wanted to have that as just a nerd boy, okay? But then we cut back to Kylo Ren. He's still sitting, like, kind of stabbed and wounded on the beach or the water world where the Death Star is. And he still has that emotional moment with Han, and he goes to the light side, but instead of throwing his lightsaber away, he takes it back. And before Leia goes, she tells Poe, Ben will be coming, and then she dies. She'll just say Ben, and he'll know. So Kylo comes in. He's like in prison for a little bit, because it's obviously it's Kylo Ren. But after like a very emotional conversation with, I'd say, Poe, Finn, and Rose. So Rose is involved more. They let him out, and he speaks with Leia and as her Force ghost or what have you. I don't know how that would be explained. I just want them to have a final closure moment. And he replaces his red crystal that's in his broadsword lightsaber with her yellow one. So then,
so you're fully buying into kind of the yin and yang concept.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with
where Rey starts off light side, goes to the dark side, and Ben starts off dark side and goes to the light side, and then they eventually come to a place of balance where both of them, overcomes Palpatine in the end.
Palpatine, Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Then what would happen?
Ray should be a Kenobi, by the way.
Yeah,
but we all need to get into that.
Knew. What then would happen is Kylo would lead the Resistance through to Exegol or what have you, through the fucking warp or whatever you want to call it. He would still lead them there. He drops down. He takes out his Knights of Ren, but with his yellow lightsaber, and he's in like full, not in like a fucking long sleeve shirt and pants. He's in like full Jedi like Padawan like cloths or something, like the white cloth of Obi-Wan Kenobi or something, just so he looks the part. He comes in with his yellow lightsaber and takes out his Knights of Ren, but then he sheathes it and walks into that cool lightning area. And as he's walking up to the Sith throne, we see Rey stand up and ignite her dual blade. She'll still have the dual blade like she had in the Sith Dream, and it'll still like lock down in that suit, because it looked cool. It's not practical at all, but it looked cool as hell, just it whipping down and locking in place. And she'll like, so you have come, or they'd have like a little dialogue beforehand, and then I think what would be a cool little tongue-in-cheek moment is then you have Kylo Ren or Ben Solo say, I will do what I must, like Obi-Wan Kenobi did on Mustafar. Just as a little throwaway. They have like a 5 to 8 minute lightsaber duel like around these giant statues and in this arena where all these Sith acolytes are. And as Ben Solo strikes down Rey or Empress Palpatine, her eyes fade back to her normal color and she says thank you, and then she fades away. And the final scene would be like him walking up and saying, that chick would say, what's your name? And he'd be like, Ben. Ben what? Ben Solo. Credits.
Okay. So it ends with Skywalkers.
Yes,
or Skywalker blood, rather.
Yeah, exactly. The last Skywalker. Because what I wanted her to do is say Palpatine so she would own the name and change the heritage or what it would mean.
Ooh, okay.
If anything, if we kept I wanted her to stick with that. I was like, so you just basically took over Ben's role, which upset me very much. And what one of my viewers just said, NJ Tommy, one thing that bothered me was Finn never told Rey what he was going to say. I was thinking maybe something to do with the Force, but we never got anything. It was a totally abandoned plot line, like you were saying. Like,
yeah, I I would have really liked to have seen him wield a lightsaber. I think they wasted John Boyega's so charismatic and such a good actor. I think that was a really wasted opportunity, especially considering like all he really did in the last movie, or even throughout the series, arguably, is yell Ray.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
Ray!
hugely
I mean,
underutilized.
come on. Um, but yeah, I really like that idea. The only thing that I do appreciate, because over time, the more and more that I've watched, The Rise of Skywalker, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's harshly judged just because it appears to be the last in the saga until they inevitably come back for more.
Yeah.
The thing that I take solace with and what I really love is it does feel like a closing the chapter on Anakin's story, and let me explain. The reason why is because the way that the Skywalkers saved the galaxy is so the way that Ben Solo did it is exactly the same way that Anakin always wanted to do it, is to save somebody from dying. And that's exactly what Ben Solo did. And if Anakin had that power all along to save Shmi, whatever else, maybe we avoided that whole mess, right? But I take a lot of I think that's really poetic in that regard, and I think they did play their cards right with him passing away and him being Anakin's direct blood.
I can see
saving
that.
somebody from dying. I do really appreciate that.
That makes a lot of sense.
But that's also coming from somebody who really appreciates and loves the prequels. And that will vary from person to person, right? Like
100%.
there are certain, everybody has their favorites, but we grew up with the prequels, and I, as somebody who appreciates and loves them so much, them paying homage in that regard was really satisfying.
Yeah, I can totally respect that, dude. Absolutely. Another thing, same viewer NJ said. Also, we never really got an explanation how Palpatine was back. The only hint was he told Kylo that the dark side gives him access to unnatural abilities, which he actually told Anakin, I believe, back in ROTS. Or Return of the Sith. Yeah, so it was sort of hinted at. It was a little gray area. The other thing that I
Cloning.
hope...
Do we think that the Mandalorian is going down that route?
Possibly. I haven't speculated too much on the Mandalorian. I'm excited to see what he does now that Grogu is in Luke Skywalker's hands, and if we'll ever see Luke Skywalker again in The Mandalorian or some other series, if they'll utilize him at all. But
I mean, they gotta get Sebastian Stan to play Luke Skywalker, right?
Everyone wants.
I mean, come on.
He looks exactly like
it's
a
a
young
dead
Mark
ringer.
Hamill. It's so uncanny. It is so
I read
uncanny.
an article. So Sebastian Stan was asked about this
when he was doing
his press. When he was doing his press for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Do you know this story where he said, I'll never play the character or reach out to Disney myself until Mark Hamill gives me his blessing.
Total control on Luke Skywalker, and that is totally fair. Because it would be career suicide to go up against that. I have a lot of
respect for that.
No, 100%. It's just huge respect to Mark Hamill as an actor and as a person and as a pop culture icon, honestly.
Who also is in Invincible, by the way. He's Art, the superhero costume creator, and he's the best Joker ever.
Oh,
in all the hands down games and in Batman the Animated Series.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger live action.
Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker, hands down,
without a doubt. When I watch all the content like Killing Joke, anything.
Video games.
Dude, I've read the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel.
Every time I read a Joker comic,
I'm reading it. It's his voice.
Yeah, I hear Mark Hamill. I hear Mark Hamill every time. No cap.
Would you argue that he's more iconic in that than Kevin Conroy as Batman?
I would have to agree, just because I feel like more people know Mark Hamill for that fact than Kevin Conroy in terms of just outside comic book lovers, just because... Granted, he has a very, very iconic Batman, and that'll go down in history. Like, Kevin Conroy's Batman and Mark Hamill's Joker are god tier.
For sure.
But I feel like Mark Hamill just holds it a little more above, just because the Joker is such a hard character to nail and get right. And like
I agree.
the newer Batman in the newer Justice League animated films does a great job as well.
Are we gonna talk about that, dude?
Bro?
I got HBO Max recently this year.
Yeah.
And I watched the entirety of the DC animated movie universe. So what is it? Flashpoint Paradox all the way through Justice League Apocalypse War.
Yes.
What a saga.
Yeah. Why can't we get that live action?
What are
Just
we doing?
follow this blueprint.
Yes,
That's
do the
all you have to
same
do.
thing.
Do the exact
Apocalypse,
same thing. People will
from
not
what I
be upset.
understand, Apocalypse War is exactly what Zack Snyder wanted to do with Justice League Part 2.
Oh my god.
So it's so, why not stick to your guns? It's so good.
Dude.
Oh man.
So
these
fucking
execs.
good. But
So good.
hold up. I want, for the last little section, I want us to like live commentary one of the Old Republic cinematics.
Sure.
If you
Let's
pull
do
it up
it.
on your phone or something.
Yep. Which one is it?
I don't know if we should do the 17 or the 18-minute one just because it's so long. But Star Wars: The Old Republic Hope cinematic is pretty damn good. This section of that 18-minute video is pretty damn good. It's 5 minutes 43 seconds. Hope cinematic from Star Wars: The Old Republic. Let me get it pulled up real quick. Okay, start on 00.
The one that I'm looking at is 5 minutes long.
5
minutes and 42.
Yeah, correct.
42 seconds from
Yeah.
Electronic Arts.
Yeah, that's the one I'm on. I'm on not on the Electronic Arts one, but I'm on the official Old Republic YouTube channel.
SW, the Old Republic.
Yeah, correct. That's
Got
the one.
it. And
it's
then
Star Wars TM: The Old Republic Hope cinematic.
got it. 5 minutes and 43 seconds. 9 years ago.
I'm at 00. Let me just adjust some things real quick on the stream.
So for me, watching it on my phone, how do you want me to do it to avoid echo or reverb?
Damn. Do you have a second pair of headphones?
I have
Do you have
AirPods in
Discord?
the
Because I
other
can
one?
screen share then.
I do not have Discord. However, I can just go on mute, and then when we want to interject something, or do you want to watch the whole thing?
Let's watch the whole
commentary
thing,
at the-
then do commentary at the end. Yeah.
Then I'll just go on mute.
Perfect.
Is that cool?
Yeah. I'll start it right as you hit mute. All right.
All right. Well, how about this? I'll mute right now. You count down 3, 2, 1, go, and
Okay.
then we'll watch it together.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going on mute. I'll talk to you in a few.
Talk to you in a few. 3, 2, and 1, go. Mark Hamill's Joker and Tara Strong's Harley Quinn are perfect. True, NJ. These cinematics are classics. We'll figure out a way to get us both on here so we can both watch it at the same time. And get a lot of
First episode tings. We'll get better with it.
yeah,
Centuries,
exactly.
Alderaan stood as a beacon of hope in
God,
the
look at the
Republic.
fucking animation.
The Empire came.
This is from 2011.
And with one savage strike,
Alderaan needs to be in more content.
True. Darth Malgus, baby.
now, time is running out, as few are left to face the enemy. For those that remain, there is but one choice. We must fight to victory or death for the Republic!
Clone's taking out sick.
That man has a lot of balls to run
Oh,
straight at Darth Malgus
yeah.
like that.
Biggest balls on a stormtrooper. See? Look at that. It's not that hard to have a dual lightsaber. You know what I'm talking about, chat. For
That looks fantastic.
the animation here.
Jedi Fallen Order. No way.
And his stormtrooper. Aw, dude! Toe to toe. See, the armor protects him. It makes sense.
While the sacrifices are heavy, we fight knowing that a single spark of courage can ignite the fires of hope and restore peace
Just got the chills.
across the galaxy.
Ooh.
The attention to detail is amazing.
Oh, dude. The fact that...
All of it is Star Wars music. Those are hammerheads from, you know, Alderaan ships that
Yeah.
are coming into frame at the end. Like, dude, it's so well done.
What I think they did exceptionally is showing the Force, like, in a physical way other than just objects moving. Like, when she pushed him into that cliff, you saw it rippling towards him and then explode outwards is incredible. But, yeah, everyone was saying, holy shit, this is badass. Malgus is like, what would you know about being burned, lol? You think fire is your ally. I was molded by it. Yeah, Malgus got torched long before Vader did. But the fact that they were showing clones at, like, actively fighting Sith acolytes and being toe-to-toe, or at least a threat to them, is incredible. They're not just cannon fodder. They're, like, physically getting in their face and doing damage to a Sith Lord, which is insane to think about in, like, the movie universe of Star Wars.
It also puts it into context why it's valuable to have a clone army versus an indisposable droid army.
Exactly.
Right? Like, there's trade-offs. There's pros and cons to each, and that level of intuition, and just that human instinct, I'd say, is probably worth more than a lot of the droids and just useless parts. So
Absolutely.
It's interesting, man.
No. Well, I think that was a fantastic way to end first episode, dude.
That's been an hour? Jeez.
Yeah.
I feel like we just started talking.
It's
so much
fucking
more to
awesome.
unpack.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
didn't even talk about like the invincible Think Mark Think meme
Oh,
that needs to
dude.
be that is so funny and needs to be mainstream tomorrow.
It already is,
Like,
dude. It's
there's so
across
much.
everything.
I freaking love that meme, dude.
Check the Reddits.
Oh, man.
It's fantastic.
Oh, it's
But,
great. But yeah, there's so much
There's
we can talk
so
about. More
much.
more content for the coming weeks.
But yeah, exactly. Do you want to transition into some Apex gameplay, good sir?
You want to play some Pex, my guy?
Fuck yeah!
I'm
I just
super
bought the
down if
battle
you wanna
pass
play.
yesterday because I got paid by Twitch, dude. I'm getting back into it.
Are you thinking about streaming it more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got an hour to kill. I can absolutely do that with you.
Well, let's do it then, brother. Hold on, let me adjust some things on